there, it's Quinn with PTSD While Black, just doing my vlogging journal check-in for today. So in fact, I did have a seizure-like episode on Monday. It really hit me. It hit me today because I have some memory loss, and I don't like for example, I couldn't remember yesterday. I don't know what to tell you, and dizziness. My feet felt like they were made of jello, and I was all wibbly wobbly and nauseated. So I'm like, oh. I forgot that when I have these episodes, sometimes I'll feel okay immediately afterwards. And like yesterday, I was singing and stuff with my husband. I felt really hyper giddy weird, and that's a sign that um, because sometimes I'll feel very elevated, silly right before a seizure like episode. So it might have been a repeat aftershock. I don't know. But anyhow, today's been a day of resting, and tomorrow's going to be a good day of resting, I think. Just relaxing with an ice pack. But what I wanted to talk about today was something that I'm really dealing with is this need to be needed. I am a compulsive overworker. I am definitely codependent. And I think the codependency went up after the concussion, because before I would overwork to prove my worth, or tolerate very bad situations to prove my worth. And I now know with the brain injury, there's insecurity that my brain doesn't work like it used to. And that, for example, this week, I'm much less present than I was last week. For example, I can't remember things today. So there's some shame around that. And so I know my coping mechanism, and this is something that I came up with when I was a child as a survival coping mechanism, was to try to be either no trouble for my mom or my sister, or to be helpful for my mom. Um, and I know, like, the big wound for me is that my mom was always overworking too. And I really felt sad that she was always overworking, trying to pay bills to take care of two kids. And so the solution that I had was be useful. Okay. Be useful, be needed. And I took that in an abusive way where I didn't really need to be useful for everyone. Like, I tried to, my best friend was 2 years younger than me, and I remember trying to rescue her from her aunt who was drunk one time, and I hid her in my closet. When her aunt came looking, I'm like, yeah, I don't know where she is. I ain't seen her. But and I think that's where I had that first enmeshed relationship of protecting someone younger than me, and that's what I would do. Oh no, actually, the first enmeshed relationship was with this two kids in like elementary school that were getting picked on, and I was like, bully, I'll bully the bullies, I'll push the bullies over. Who's bullying you? I would use my height, I would use the fact that I was a big girl to protect smaller kids. And that's fine and dandy to be a helpful person, but when it becomes this need of fulfillment and worth, it gets in the way of moving forward. And I'm looking at, with my brain injury, it's like I can't be needed in the ways that I used to be, because, like, to problem solve or to come up with quick solutions, don't ask me to remember shit. I can't do things the way I used to. And so there's this need now to forgive myself for choosing that learning mechanism and choosing to rely on it. It was helpful when I was younger to be able to survive my household and to survive my feelings of not knowing what to do with my mom not being there to take care of us. Instead, always having a babysitter or going over to someone else's house or a relative's house. But now I get to release that. Now I get to release it. And I don't, because what I do, and I've seen this negative pattern and people hate it in me, is everywhere, whether it's on the job, with my friends, with my partner, I will try to fix things for people so they don't have to struggle. Or I will find people I attract people in my life who have a lot of needs that are not taken care of or loving themselves. And I try to fix, change, and control things. I've helped 2 people learn how to drive, for example, who, one, we've been friends for years since, but the other one, she's like really backstabbed me in a really painful situation. Um, but it's not my job to put my insurance at risk to help somebody who's not got much interest in helping themselves, you know? Um, and so I'm just really looking at that's that codependent behavior. And having healthy boundaries for me, one, is to recognize when I'm being invited into opportunities to take care of people, and two, when I'm inserting myself into opportunities, like, oh, I see that you could use some help, let me help you. No, I can just watch people. I love, my husband does a great modeling, because we when we did like the couples program, we did this modeling of, um it's in our contracts. Oh, it's in our communication contract, where it's like, I can see you're struggling. Do you need help? And the partner can say yes, or they can say no. And that's what I need to apply to others, because this is how I'm dysfunctional in my communication, in my connection, in my um, affection style with other people, is I can ask, do you need help? Or I can affirm the things that someone else is doing to take care of themselves. That's even better, because then I'm not inserting myself. Um, and the challenge that I have, and I'll accept this with my brain injury, the challenge that I have is when I want to co-create with others, I want to collaborate and work on things together with others, and that um, I like feedback, because I'll think of, I'm working on something, but then I'm like, maybe I didn't think it through. Maybe the dialogue on the script isn't written quite well. I would like feedback. Well, it's okay for me to say I like feedback, and it's okay for other people to not want any feedback. And that's where I struggle with that particular balance, is I want to be able to parallel create with people. And I have some pretty good friends that I can do parallel work with, where we each will declare what we're working on, we'll work on it, and then we'll share what we worked on and ask for any feedback on what we shared on. And that's a really healthy model for me, especially with my brain injury, because let's face it, I only have so many resources up here. I don't need to spend it on fixing things for others. Okay. And then, oh, last thing I wanted to touch on, because I was aware that this symptom still exists. Post seizure like episodes, I have I don't want to remember, because I'm like, oh, I won't be needed. Post seizure like episodes, when I am talking to a person face to face, my social anxiety kicks in, like, oh, am I going to be judged for having different thought patterns, not being able to speak, um, or be useful like I used to. So I notice when I'm talking directly to a person, I will stutter more. I notice that, because emotions are coming up of like, and I don't care what, talking to my husband, there's the emotions of I love you and I miss you and I need you. That comes up, and I notice I'll stutter more when I talk to my husband directly. And processing these feelings right now just made my foot go numb. So yeah, that's confirmation. But when I'm doing this here, when I'm just speaking around a particular topic without connecting to the emotion, my speech is much clearer. So I think I'm much better as a speaker to present topics, present ideas, and to let feelings and emotional connection speech not be what I do. Yeah. What was the other thing? Is that just it? The emotional thing? Oh yeah, the back of my head hurts, girl. It's like, ooh, ooh. She tanned it. I wanted to put an ice pack on. But actually where it was hit was like right around here. That's itself isn't so bad. I'm hurting here and here. This is weird. Doctor, it hurts when I touch this. Well, stop touching it. All right. Anyway, so I just wanted to reflect on that thought, on that concept of needing to be needed. And I am committing to surrendering it and one day at a time, letting it change, letting it shift, letting it just be. Instead, I accept myself with what I have to offer, and I accept others with what they have to offer at any given moment. And that there's no need to fix, change, control, or punish anyone. So, yeah, that's my lesson. And oh, this has gone long. All right. Till next time, friends. Peace.